Bills. Rent. Debt. Repeat. Is there a way out? You know the feeling. The paycheck hits, and it's like watching the tide roll in, but instead of beach waves, it's bills. Bills that pile up, scream louder than your voice in your head. A few $100s. Then, a few thousand more. That's all it takes. One rent payment, one student loan, one emergency you didn't see coming. And then, poof, it's gone. Like that. Just like your peace of mind. The worst part? You thought you had control. You thought you could budget, plan, and make it work. But the more you try to grip the money, the more it slips through your fingers. It's like trying to hold sand. No matter how tightly you squeeze, there's always a grain falling away. You're not alone in this. At 24, Jordan looks at her bank account like it's a reflection of the war going on inside her. Bills. Rent. Gas. Groceries. Then, the guilt. The sick feeling that you've been here before. Every month feels like this endless loop, like you're stuck in a dream, but never waking up. The money comes in, and just as quickly, it's gone. She's left staring at a screen filled with numbers that mock her. How? How does anyone get out of this? The truth is, she can't. And it's not her fault. We've been sold a lie. That the American dream is about hard work. That if you put in the hours, the sweat, and the tears, the world will give back to you. But it doesn't. Not anymore. Not in a world where your salary is barely enough to cover a fraction of what it costs to live. Not when the rent is rising faster than your paycheck and student loans feel like a weight that's slowly sinking you. Every month, the cycle begins again. You're just one step away from feeling like you're drowning. And it's not even just the money. It's everything. It's the anxiety that comes with every payment. The questions that echo through your mind when you're trying to sleep. Will I make it? Will I be able to afford this? How am I supposed to plan a future when I can barely make it through the day? But it's not just a personal crisis. This is the system. This is the culture we've inherited, and it's not just about money anymore. It's about the constant stress. The looming dread that comes from waking up to a world that feels like it's rigged. Every dollar feels like it's bought with your soul. Every job feels like it's draining you. And the bills? The bills keep piling up, no matter how much you work. You tell yourself it's just a phase. You tell yourself that once you land that dream job, once you pay off the credit cards, once the loans are gone, then it'll be okay. But you never get there. Because once you pay one thing off, something else comes up. You make more, but it's just enough to stay afloat, not enough to breathe. And breathing? You're not sure if you remember how to. Jordan feels it too, the constant exhaustion of just trying to keep up. It's like being on a treadmill. You run. You run so damn hard, and yet, no matter how fast you go, you're still stuck. Still in the same place. And worse? You feel ashamed to admit it. Like you should have it all figured out. Like the world is waiting for you to succeed, to have your life together. But the truth? The truth is you're not alone in feeling lost. Everyone around you is struggling in silence. Everyone's pretending they've got it all under control. Everyone's masking their own financial anxiety, not wanting to be the one to admit that they're one bad bill away from breaking. It's not a problem of individual failure, but a societal one. We've been sold a lie about what it takes to be successful. We've been told that if we just push harder, just work more hours, just get that promotion, it'll all magically fall into place. But it doesn't. it just piles on more. More hours. More pressure. More debt. And that pressure? It builds up like a pressure cooker. You feel the weight of it every time you check your account balance. Every time you try to plan your future. Your brain's in overdrive, running through all the ways it can make sense of the chaos. But there's no clarity, just endless spinning. You're not imagining it. This is what life looks like for most people your age right now. Anxiety isn't some abstract concept. It's real. And it's rooted in the very financial structure that we've been taught to chase. But let's stop pretending like this is just about numbers. This is about survival. This is about mental health. Your mental health. Your emotional state. Your soul. How can we live with this constant anxiety, this ever-present cloud hanging over us, when the whole system feels like it's designed to break us? What do you do when every attempt at stability feels like a temporary fix? How do you find peace when your peace is always being interrupted by the sound of incoming bills, the numbers in your bank account slowly shrinking? The reality is, you can't escape this cycle alone. It's not just about working harder. It's about understanding the root of this system that's making you feel powerless. The path out? Well, that's going to require more than just another hustle. It's about finding your way back to the things that really matter. The people who matter. The conversations that matter. The moments of stillness that no amount of money can ever buy. Because in the end, what's the point of surviving if you're not really living? The world feels so fast, doesn't it? So relentless. And it's like you're always trying to catch up. Everyone's moving, everyone's racing to get somewhere, except you don't even know where you're headed anymore. You just keep going because that's all you can do. Push forward, even when it feels like there's no finish line in sight. And that's where the real danger lies. The hustle culture. The constant pushing, the pressure to be better, faster, richer, more. It's no longer just about getting by, it's about proving that you matter. That you're worthy. That all the late nights, the skipped meals, the constant grind somehow add up to something. But what if that's the trap? The deeper you fall into it, the more you lose yourself. Every hour spent working, every sacrifice made, feels like it's building something, until you realize you don't even know what you're building anymore. Your worth becomes tied to your paycheck, your productivity, your ability to hustle non-stop. But when the paycheck barely covers your rent, and the productivity is just a way to survive, you start asking yourself, what's the point? That's the lie we've been sold. That if we just keep going, keep working, keep grinding, the reward will come. But what reward? What peace are we promised at the end of the tunnel? The problem isn't the money. It's what the money represents, a measure of success, security, and self-worth in a world that values you only for what you can produce. We've been taught that financial freedom is the answer to our problems, but in reality, it's not freedom at all. It's just another cage. Another cycle. Another trap. And what's worse? It's a cycle we're all stuck in. Look around you. You're not the only one. The anxiety, the stress, the feeling of never being enough, it's everywhere. It's in the conversations at work, in the halls of school, in the quiet moments when you're lying awake at night wondering if you'll ever escape. But maybe it's not about escaping. Maybe it's about learning to live within the chaos. To find peace in the struggle, not despite it. That's not an easy message. It's not the shiny, quick-fix advice you've been told to follow. The truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. But what if there was another way? What if, instead of seeing your financial situation as a reflection of your failure, you started to see it as an invitation to create something new? What if you stopped fighting against the flow of money and started to align with it, to make small decisions that would shift your focus away from scarcity and toward abundance? Not abundance of cash, but abundance of peace, of time, of space to breathe. It starts with perspective. Because right now, your perspective is shaped by the belief that you have to earn peace. That if you work hard enough, if you're disciplined enough, if you just grind harder, it will come. But that's the trap. It's always just out of reach. And when it's always out of reach, it leads to a constant sense of inadequacy. What if peace isn't something you have to earn? What if peace is already here, right now, but you've been too busy chasing everything else to notice? It's hard to even imagine. You're so caught up in the chase, the hustle, that it feels impossible to step back. But that's where change begins, in the stillness. In the moments where you stop and ask yourself what you really need. Not what the world tells you need, but what you need. And here's the secret, it's not always more money. It's not always more hustle. Sometimes, it's the simple act of taking a break, of saying, no, I'm not going to push today. I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to reconnect with the things that make me feel alive, not just productive. Because this cycle? It's not just about bills and debt. It's about your mind, your body, your well-being. If your mental health isn't right, no amount of money will ever fix it. No paycheck, no loan repayment, no new job. They might give you temporary relief, but that's all it is. Temporary. The real shift comes when you start to care more about your health than your hustle. When you realize that your worth isn't tied to the grind, but to the moments of peace you create for yourself, however small. But that's hard, right? So hard to believe when you're stuck in the middle of it all. When every part of you is screaming to just get through one more day, just get through the next bill, the next payment. But here's the thing, you're already enough. You've always been enough. The world may tell you that you have to work harder, push more, do more, but that's a lie. You don't have to keep chasing something that isn't there. You can choose to live differently. You can choose to step back, breathe, and reframe how you think about your worth. Because your worth isn't measured in hours worked, or dollars earned, or what's in your bank account. Your worth is intrinsic. It's you. That's the real question, isn't it? What are you really chasing? The truth is, you don't have to chase anything. You're already here. You've already made it through every single day that's weighed you down, and that alone is worth something. Your worth isn't in the grind, in the endless loop of work and worry. It's in the quiet moments of clarity, the simple things you can't measure by money. The laugh of a friend. A quiet walk outside. A good book. A peaceful night where you don't worry about the bills tomorrow. But to get there, to stop running in place, you have to break the cycle. That's the hard part. It's easy to get stuck, to feel like you're trapped. Like you're in quicksand and every effort to pull yourself out just drags you deeper. You're surrounded by a system that demands more of you than you can give. And it feels like if you just work a little harder, if you just push a little more, then maybe the pressure will ease up. But it won't. And that's the hardest lesson to learn. The hustle won't save you. The grind won't heal you. Chasing more money won't quiet your mind. And that's the lie you've been fed. That's the trap you've been caught in. What if the real escape isn't about making more money? What if it's about learning how to find peace, not in the absence of struggle, but in the presence of it? Because that's where the shift happens. That's when you start to see things differently. When you stop seeing everything as a battle to be won, and start seeing it as a journey to be lived. Yes, money matters. Yes, the bills pile up. But you can't let it define your life. You can't let the constant worry take away your ability to live freely. You can't let the pressure of survival steal your peace. It's okay to admit that you're tired. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. But the next step is to realize that you don't have to keep going in the same direction. You don't have to keep playing the game the way everyone else does. Because the game? It's rigged. It's designed to make you feel like you're always one step behind, always struggling to catch up. But you don't have to play by those rules. Take a moment to breathe. Take a step back and ask yourself what really matters. Is it the bill you just paid? Is it the job that drains you? Is it the next paycheck that doesn't seem to stretch far enough? Or is it the time you spend with the people you love? The quiet moments when you get to be present? The moments where you're not measuring yourself against anyone else's expectations, but simply existing as you are? The truth is, you can start taking small steps right now. You can shift your focus from just surviving to truly living. It's not about having all the answers, or magically fixing everything. It's about asking yourself what you need to feel whole, to feel at peace, even if everything else is in chaos. It's about starting small. It's about finding ways to reclaim your time, your energy, and your mind. And it starts with this: you have to stop believing the lie. You are not your paycheck. You are not your debt. You are not the hours you spend working or the number of tasks you check off. You are more than that. There's no magic formula. There's no simple fix. But there is something more powerful than anything the system tells you: your ability to choose how you live your life, even in the midst of the struggle. Your ability to choose peace, to choose time, to choose yourself. So, stop. Stop running. Stop chasing. Stop letting the system dictate your worth. Start living. Start choosing what truly matters. And when you do, you'll realize that peace wasn't something you had to earn. It was always there, waiting for you to find it. But here's the hard part: you'll need to keep fighting against everything you've been told. The world will try to make you think you need more. It will try to convince you that more money, more hours, more stress equals more happiness. But that's the lie. The real answer is in the quiet moments. The real answer is learning to say no to the things that don't serve you, even if society says you should keep chasing them. The real answer is learning that you can survive without the constant anxiety, that you don't need to drown in the stress to prove you're alive. You're already enough. You always have been. And that's the journey. The real one. The one that isn't about the chase. The one that's about learning to live, really live, with all the mess, the chaos, and the beauty of just being human. Because, at the end of it all, the question isn't whether you can escape the cycle. The question is, can you find the strength to live fully, even while inside it? Can you learn to breathe through it, to laugh through it, to love through it? If you can, then you'll understand what it means to truly be free. Paulo Coelho once said, "Freedom is not the absence of commitments, but the ability to choose and commit myself to what is best for me." Isn't that the heart of it all? The real freedom lies in choosing what truly matters to you, even when everything around you tries to tell you otherwise. The freedom isn't in working harder, earning more, or chasing things that don't bring you peace. It's in choosing to stop. To breathe. To choose what you need to feel whole. So, what do you choose today? If this hit home, if this made you pause, think, or even question everything, don't just keep it to yourself. Share it. Let's start a conversation. Comment below, what's one small step you'll take today to break free from the cycle? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Next up, broke but dreaming, how Gen Z balances survival and purpose. The hustle continues, but can we learn to survive and still find meaning in the madness? See you in the next one.